I was not aware of this, thank you. This makes so much sense, but it makes me so uncomfortable. Jupiter, high on caffeine, sleep deprived, and doing its best to take care of 79 moons. Everyone shut up, I got accepted for a NASA internship. Language? Suck my pee-pee. I'm working at NASA, and I am on the National Space Council that oversees NASA. This onion won't make me cry. The sun will explode in 5 billion years. 6-year-olds. A 4.1 kilometer asteroid will close in on Earth in April. NASA has confirmed. Could end human civilization if it hits. I don't even care anymore at this point. If Earth stops rotating suddenly, then you would fly east at 465 meters per second and die instantly. If it continues to rotate, most of us will die slowly, painfully, and afraid. If the multiverse theory is true, then there's a universe where it isn't. Multiverse theory doesn't cover paradoxical situations, except in the universe where it does. If Saturn were as close to the Earth as the moon is, then this is how it would look. My flight to Nevada is taking a bit too long. Do any of you know why? Because you're in space. Next time a conspiracy theorist tries to tell you what happened, present a more outlandish theory and accuse them of covering up the truth. Conspiracy theorist. The moon landing was fake. Me. You believe in the moon? I'm going to smash that planet. That's Venus. Venus is the god of beauty. Venus the planet is the hottest planet in the solar system, just enough to melt lead. It rains acid, and the atmospheric pressure can crush a tank. NASA is hunting alien civilizations by looking for their pollution.
Do you think we are stupid as you guys to destroy our own planet?
How were the pyramids built? Well, the pyramids were built before Isaac Newton invented gravity, so the stone's weight wasn't a problem. A few months ago, I learned that people who had been deaf from birth, but gained their hearing later in life often say that they expected the sun to make a noise, and I've been thinking about that ever since. In perspective, neutron star with a mass of 500,000 Earth has a diameter no larger than of New York. Pluto hasn't made a full orbit around the sun since it was discovered in 1930. I wouldn't finish my job if I got fired either. Where were you 49 years ago today, when these people landed on the moon? I was on the moon! Imagine being the only person alive who can say this. Astronomers watched a neutron star glitch and can't explain it yet. You son of a... Are you a simulation, huh? Just putting this out there for the flat earthers. If we put a giant mirror 10 light years away from Earth and looked at it through a telescope, theoretically, we would see 20 years in the past. Your CPU temperature has exceeded 8,000 degrees. That is hotter than the sun. Ground control to Major Tom. So long, space cowboy. Space. The most logical argument in any Marvel movie. Why would you want to save the galaxy? Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it. Okay, but I'm just saying, this picture of Mercury makes it look like the roundest potato in existence that someone started to peel but got distracted. No, I don't think they got distracted. They were like, oh, this is gonna take far longer than I thought. Signals that baffled astronomers for 17 years traced to observatory microwave oven. Oh man, I can imagine the screaming fits. The sun and planets to scale. The sun is quite big, but you know what's bigger? I can hear the blast in my head when they collide. Sound doesn't travel in space. You wouldn't hear a thing. Then how do you explain all the sounds in Star Wars? Checkmate. We used to have 9 planets, but we now only have 8. Stop telling everyone I'm not a planet. Sometimes we hear the voices. My car is currently orbiting Mars. Well, no, it's orbiting the sun and occasionally passes the orbit of Mars. Not the same thing. Who died and made you the orbital police? NASA. Oh, you mean the cowards who would rather go to space than face what's in the ocean. True. Higher resolution image of Jupiter. Wow, it looks like we have ducks on Jupiter. Pluto has a heart-shaped sea that's filled with poisonous ice. Don't we all? Outer space is only an hour drive away. If you could drive your car straight into the sky at 60 miles per hour, someone had AI-generated Alien the Musical, and unfortunately, it looks incredible. This is Nelly. She's an astronaut. Please don't interrupt her spacewalk. That's one small boop for the pup. One giant boop for pup kind. I saw someone say Florida upside down looks like the Grinch, and after I flipped my phone, I'm mad I can't unsee it. Ancient Greek astrologers be like, ah yes, a goat. If you're mad and find yourself yelling that you want someone launched into the sun, take a moment, calm yourself, and remember that it takes a lot less Delta 5 to launch them out of the solar system instead. You can be mad, but that's no excuse to be inefficient with propellant. People who think this planet was created for humans to be ours are so wild to me. 70% of the planet's surface is undrinkable, uninhabitable death water that sharks love. How is that a human-centric design? The Earth was created for various types of crabs. I think it's a universal truth that everyone in our generation takes Pluto's losing its planetary status as a personal offense. Yes? Imagine if China, while they're up on the moon, decided to knock down the US flag or whatever just to say, screw you. And it's like, what are we gonna do? Spend a couple of billion just to fly some craft up to the moon and re-erect the flag? The whole scenario would be petty, and that's hilarious. I have lived in America my entire life, and I'm 100% sure we would do exactly that. Scientists believe there is a 9th planet in our solar system that is roughly 10 times larger than Earth. They haven't been able to locate it yet, but they know it's there because of its gravitational effects on other objects. What do you mean they can't find it? I pointed my telescope at the Jellyfish Nebula for 23 hours to capture this. Is it just me, or is NASA weirdly aggressive in their article about black holes? Could a black hole destroy Earth? I asked my Uber driver how long he's been Uber driving for, and he said, I never started. And then I laughed, and then he didn't laugh, and then we rode in silence for 10 minutes, and then I sneezed, and he said, what was that sound you just made? And I said, a sneeze, and he said, okay, 5 stars. 5 stars because it's clearly his first day on Earth. My friend was preparing for shooting the lunar eclipse when a plane came by. I'm gonna cut the moon in half. The most futuristic thing in the Star Wars universe is probably that planets are always seen as one unity and not hundreds of countries. Flat brain society. Ooh, I wonder who's joined this society. Hubble captures vivid auroras in Jupiter's atmosphere. Breaking. Jealous of all the attention the rest of the universe is getting with NASA's fancy new telescope, Jupiter puts on a little hat. Cat rolls in edible glitter, instantly becomes a beautiful galaxy. You don't need an astronomer to explain why the Earth is round. You need a psychologist to figure out what's wrong with the flat earthers. So turns out the guy who discovered Uranus originally wanted to name it George. Just imagine a planet named George. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, George. My body is not a temple. It is a Federation starship with critical hull damage and shields at 0%. Planetarium presenters trying to explain to a busload of 4th graders how incomprehensibly vast space is. Me, 10, you will never be the same again. Slides NASA $20. So tell me about the aliens. Aliens. Slides NASA 40. What aliens? NASA, with $60 holding back tears. We can finally afford some more space rocks. NASA staff working from home. Stars, they're just like us. I say as I point up at the celestial body in the night sky that has already been
Sauron.
dead inside for years. Something's weird is going on with our universe. NASA says independent. Vibes are off, NASA confirms. We should have a holiday called Space Day, where lights are shut off for an hour at night to reduce light pollution, so we can see the galaxy. 40 kilobytes of RAM in 1969. We put people on the moon. 8 gigabytes of RAM now. Chrome tab scary. Did you know there are rockets in the ocean, but no submarines in space? Now, how do you know? Have you been to space? I don't think you have. Imagine you are this little guy in complete darkness for so long, unaware of how sparkly your apartment is. NASA employee. Oh hey, you guys are back early. Astronaut. Moon's wet. What? Grabs a mop. Moon's wet. I have always been a light eater. When it gets light, I start eating, said the black hole. Rare picture of human walking on space. If I had to rate our solar system, I'd give it 1 star. All this space and you still couldn't fit me in. Will you have another one? Nah, too much responsibility. Don't want to end up like Jupiter. I want to thank the people for putting their faith in me. I am ready to serve. Arnold voted best leader for Alien Invasion. It's wild that you can just do anything. Date the wrong person, choose the wrong career. You can go outside and start eating dirt if you want, and the universe lets you. Not even a pop-up. Like, are you sure? Mods, can we ban this guy? Sure. My teacher is so dumb. He thought the sun was a star. That's because it is? No, it's not. A sun is a sun, and a star is a star. Saying that a sun is a star is the same as saying a tomato is a fruit. That's right, it's not true. Earth has acquired a brand new moon that's about the size of a car. It's not mine. You are here, crying in the shower before work. Friendly reminder that planet Earth is a dense molten core, encased in a layer of solids, and therefore is, technically speaking, a ravioli. On December 28th, 1973, after having worked for 16 hours a day without breaks for 6 weeks, the crew of the Skylab space station mutinied and shut off communications with ground control for a day. Jupiter's moon, Callisto. Is no one going to explain what all the lights are? They're impact craters. Callisto is one of the most heavily cratered object in the solar system, and as far as my basic research has just gone, the light parts are essentially iced over impact craters. So essentially, we're looking at something with a very frosty/icy surface. They're bright because they reflect the sun. Got a 2.4 GPA my first semester in college. Thought maybe I wasn't cut out for engineering. Today, I've landed 2 spacecrafts on Mars, and now I'm designing one for the moon. STEM is hard for everyone. Grades ultimately aren't what matter. Curiosity and perseverance matter. Hey, can you please tag your space posts with space or space mention? Seeing space makes me really anxious and I don't want to see it on my dashboard. No offense, but if space makes you uncomfortable, then I don't think following a blog that only posts about space is the best idea for you. 2020 can't get any worse. Researchers at Large Hadron Collider are confident to make contact with parallel universe in days. So this was a lie, or else I would have heard about it again. NASA. So we found 7 new planets. Pluto. The moon is not a rock in space. The moon is its own light source. Rocks don't reflect light, neither does the moon. Literally everything that you see reflects light. It's how vision works. Read video of scientists naming planets. 6-year-old figured out she can sneakily stick a note on someone's back, but she doesn't know they should say things like, kick me, so they just have space facts on them. Humans. Sends interstellar radio message into space. Every life form in the universe swipes left. Earth half day and half night, as seen from space. I wonder how cool it would be if someone was in the middle of these halves. Whoever is in the middle of day and night must be thinking this is crazy. We're ruining the planet. I'm sorry, who is this we? I didn't recall myself running a $1 billion oil business. Bad airline travel is the absolute pinnacle of humanity to me. We have found a way to soar through the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, and also found a way to make it suck the whole time. Absolutely iconic work by the species. The richest person on this planet wants to live on another planet. Yeah, I think that says a lot. It's happening again. Well, we could try radiation treatment this time. Or I could just smack you with a big rock like last time. Oh, the boinky sponge, crinkly dude, the shrunkle scrimblow. Out of every universe there is, I had to live in the one without magic and superpowers. Yeah, but this one has Dippin' Dots. Mars Olympus Mons, the tallest known volcano in the solar system, has such a gradual slope that someone standing at the base couldn't see the summit because it's beyond the horizon. Grimes and Elon Musk are the Kardashians for people who watch Rick and Morty. Twitter is bleeding into the local graffiti. Elon is Space Karen. Planets aligned. Wait, what type of planet's this? Sorry, I dropped your science. Guys literally want one thing, and it's disgusting. Astronauts tackle air leak on International Space Station with flex tape. Oh, so you got a telescope for Christmas. Sorry, we're just gonna stay here. When NASA said it's going to set up a moon base, but no one is talking about it. You know Orion's belt? Waste of space. I know, not a great joke. 3 stars. My friend said Fahrenheit is how people feel. Celsius is how water feels. Kelvin is how the molecules feel. And I can't stop thinking about how much sense this makes. If Earth's 4.5 billion year old history were condensed into 24 hours, dinosaurs extinction 1141, humans emerged 1158. All of the recorded history has happened in the last 3 seconds. How rad are these planetary chocolates from Japan? If this video gets 1,000 likes, I will buy these and then review them in a video. Why not? That seems fun. A Norwegian island wants to get rid of time. Norwegian island, Summerray, wants to become the world's first time-free zone. The sun does not set for weeks during its summer, and isn't seen for long winter periods. With a perpetual day or night, residents want to abolish clock time completely. Ideal existence. Imagine never being late to
ध्यान दीजिए फ्रॉड से बचो बैंक कार्ड्स सेफ
इससे बेहतर आईसीआईसीआई बैंक अकाउंट खोल लीजिए iMobile के
to anything. What time is it? Gets arrested. We are the first generation to reach the temperature greater than the sun's core, capture the first image of a black hole, see the sunset on another planet, Mars, capture the deepest and sharpest image of the universe. Only 3 people in the nation were qualified to hand-pack the parachutes for Apollo 15. Their expertise was so vital, they were not allowed to ride in the same car together, for fear that a single auto accident could cripple the space program. Living on Earth is so boring. Imagine touching the rings of Saturn, climbing icy mountains on Pluto, witnessing neutron stars colliding from close, falling into a black hole, experiencing extreme space-time distortion. It's crazy out there. Painting I did in '89 titled August 21st, 2017. I actually thought 28 years in the future, tourists might watch the eclipse from the moon. Sigh. People were so ambitious about the future. I mean, people still are now, including myself with VR. But I hope I'm not disappointed. Please don't disappoint us. This dude paid $55 million to work for the first time in his life. Billionaire sent to space wasn't expecting to work so hard on the ISS. The first private astronauts, who paid $55 million to journey to the ISS, needed some hand-holding from the regular crew. We did it, we time traveled. But to what year? Let me ask that guy over there. What time are we in? 59 BC. We aren't the only time travelers here. Scientists discover bizarre hell planet where it rains rocks and oceans are made of lava. Yes, it's called Mustafa, chapter 1. This is my favorite quote ever. The story so far. In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Today I learned NASA's plan to dispose of corpses in space is to freeze them into the airlock and then violently shake the body with a robotic arm until it turns to space dust. Bad astronauts get put in the corpse wiggler. In 1977, we received a radio signal from space that lasted 72 seconds, and to this day, we still don't know where it came from. Yes, we do. It came from space. I hope it was some, nerd who just knew how radio signals worked and he was trolling, not an actual alien. Or maybe people from the future. If Thanos' snap killed 50% of all life, that means that the survivors would have lost 50% of their gut biomes in an instant and spent the next few months power blasting their bathrooms with diarrhea. In this essay, I don't get it. Thanos snap kill. Why would they lose their gut biomes? In a universe, in a galaxy, in a solar system, planet, continent, country, state, city, neighborhood, street, house, room. Somebody's thinking. Look in the upper right corner. I don't see anything. Harpoon gun. A very long cable anchored to the ground. The moon. Shoot harpoon to the moon. So the Earth is rotating. The cable wraps around Earth, pulling the moon down. A small step for a stroll. Travel to the moon without expensive rockets. NASA is investigating what may be the first crime in outer space, with astronaut Anne McClain accused of identity theft and improperly accessing her estranged wife's private financial records while on the ISS. Despite making up roughly 49% of the population, women are responsible for 100% of the crimes in space. If you ever feel alone, remember that every year on August 5th, the Mars Curiosity rover sings the happy birthday song to itself to celebrate its landing on Mars. And it's dead now. It's gone. Did you know if you wear a sock inside out, the entire universe is wearing your sock except you? I wonder how many people's socks I'm wearing right now. But I usually wear my socks inside out as it is. And hear me out. I don't like the lining at the end of it going on your feet, on your toes.